So I want to address John Lennox. I wish he can see this video. I'm not even a YouTuber. I just play Call of Duty like once in a while and post it on my channel. But I want to start addressing some of these things because I believe that the world is getting more digital and everybody has a voice. So I'm a videographer, I'm a video editor. But I watched this particular video. I'm going to leave the link in the description, and it was like, oh, John Lennox gave the perfect response for atheists. Um, I wouldn't. I would say I'm agnostic, yeah, because I'm a very open-minded person, and I want to know what is there. However, some of those arguments Lennox made is was truly disappointing. Like, I believe Christians can do more. Like, people keep forgetting that you're Christian because you were brought up in a Christian home. Fact. And if you're Christian because you moved maybe from Islam to Christian, no problem. That's another angle you can go to. But some of the things he said in this video were kind of like you're not answering the questions, right? The questions were thrown at you. Why would there be animals who are going to come, like God is going to create on this planet, and still watch them go off? Like, literally, they don't exist anymore. How can you create animals and then they go extinct? So what was the purpose of the animals being created? No, nobody should come here and tell me, oh, they were there because of the ecosystem. They were supposed to maintain the ecosystem at that point. You're making excuses for a God. That does not make any sense. When it comes to the problem of evil, people want to attribute like, oh, if you're an atheist, it means that you don't have any moral standards. Oh, and John was saying stuff like, some of them believe that just enjoy your life. That's why you're an atheist, just so that you can enjoy your life, and they are scared of somebody judging them. He also made mention of terrorists, having no judgment because atheists believe that after you die, there's nothing. So probably terrorists don't have any judgment, yeah, right? So when they die, they just die off, and that's it. So he believes that no, these people have judgment. You keep forgetting that most terrorists, in fact, all terrorists are radical religious believers. They believe in something. That's why they're doing it. They're killing people because they know they're going to see virgins in heaven. You're not telling me that an atheist is like his thought process is like, oh, this person is not going to see any problem after now. And your own is, oh, after killing somebody, you go somewhere bad. What? There are people who are living on this planet with me and you, even Christians, that believe that the fact you're not in their own denomination, you probably not make heaven. When last the Catholic move into a Jehovah Witness Kingdom Hall and sit down there, receive whatever they're receiving, join them whatever they're doing, and leave happily? No, barely happens. It's as if they're conflicting. I don't think there's any Jehovah Witness on planet Earth that have moved into a Catholic church, stayed there, wanted to practice in what they practice, maybe join the catechism, take Holy Communion, and they do their whatever. No, it's sacrilege. Even the fact that they have an image, like an image of Jesus in that church, it's already sacrilege to a Jehovah Witness. So Christians don't even have agreement with themselves. Jehovah Witnesses believe Jesus Christ died on a stake. Others believe he died on a cross. All types of stories, right? Lennox is not making sense when it comes to explaining what religion and God is. There's a conflicting characteristics in that. You are making how can you blame about Einstein because he's a scientist? You blame him because other scientists are doing bad things with science. But Einstein did not discover science. He did not claim that he's the reason why science is standing today. No, he's just part of the many few who are so enlightened, who are ahead of their time to actually bring humanity up faster. Religious beliefs is other ways different. We are trying to see in terms of science how we can utilize his, E equals to MC squared. Do you understand? That's what science is, continuity. Religion is static. What you believe is what you believe. You just have to turn it to different narratives considering, the time when you were born. Because if Lennox was born in maybe like the 12th century, he won't be saying these things he's saying. He's saying these things because he now has an idea that a telescope shows stars. He has an idea that we can actually see other planets and this and that. You're saying all these things because now you have an idea of science. Now you have what it takes. You see an epileptic person, you say, oh, diagnosis, epilepsy. Back in the days, an epileptic person to say evil spirits. If you are living there too, you will say the same thing. So the idea that, oh, atheists believe that there's nothing after here, so therefore nobody's going to suffer. Now there's no judgment for bad people. It has always been like that. Look at the animal kingdom. There's a corpse somewhere now, just crying because his dad was killed, mauled by whatever it is that came and killed him. That's how unfair the world is. You're talking about, oh, there's an intelligent design, and somebody's like, oh, a scientist was like, the way he has seen the world. Okay, that was you said that after discovering gravity and all of that, that he just realized that the way the world is made, he believes there's a creator somewhere. So because of the way the world is made, you believe there's a creator. Have you heard of natural selection? Oh no, don't go to work. Don't make use of your muscles. Don't go and eat. Don't do anything. Because the world is perfect. You are made perfect. Don't do anything. If you don't walk, if you don't handle these muscles, you'll be obese, you can have hypertension. Sedentary lifestyle can cause you a whole lot of harm. So you have to be active. That's why you're in the gym. Right? Now, if you don't eat, if you don't eat, you die. If you don't drink water, you die of thirst. There's so many other things that can happen to you. Lack of certain vitamins can cause you harm in your body. This is the perfect body for you. Lack of vitamins can cause you harm. Lack of certain minerals can cause you harm. Even depending on the area you're living, there's a kind of things you're going to inhale, your body can't handle it, you're gone. You start having all types of sicknesses. Every time you live your life on planet Earth, you're trying to find the best possible way to live it through. You understand? So COVID-19 is out. Everybody rushes into that. No, come outside. Come outside because the world is perfectly made for you. When there is thunderstorm, stay outside. Even press your phone outside. You run inside with your phones. You put thunder reflector on your roofs. Why? Because you want to survive. That's what natural selection is about. Now, let me give you an understanding on what atheism is. Yeah, because I believe I understand what it is. It's not a belief. It's reality. You have to open your eyes to reality. The world is not fair. Expect good people to be bombed when there's a bombing going on. If a bomb happens here right now, and currently I'm within radius and I die off, I'm among the statistics. What you hear is somewhere here in Nigeria, there was a bomb and it killed 700 people. That's what you're going to hear. Statistics. There's nothing special about you. You're just another human being, unless you've done something different and history remembers you. That's it. So don't come here and be like, oh, you are special. You are made special. There was a special design. There's none. You have to survive. If there's a special design for you, everybody will look the same. And let me just bring something now. When you talk about the history of mankind, science believes that there's always room for improvement. You're making up excuses for an archaic response or an archaic belief. Now you're telling me that Adam and Eve were the first human beings on planet Earth, and that their sin is the reason why we have sinned, and the reason why we have to beg for forgiveness, and the reason why Jesus came so he can help us. And you also said, oh, Jesus did not come to abolish the law. Oh, he just came to amend it. But then you pick and choose what you want to believe from the Old Testament and the New Testament. So you come to the Old Testament, you are told not to wear, different fabric on your garments. But you're doing it wholeheartedly, and you don't care. You believe you go to heaven. Now that one is archaic to you. But in that same Old Testament, that was when the Ten Commandments came in place. You believe the Ten Commandments should be taken seriously. But when Jesus came, what did Jesus say? The greatest commandment is love. So let us use love. I know you will say, oh, love encompasses all the commandments. If you love somebody, everything in the Ten Commandments, but there was not mention of it. So leave it, right? Just love. Now, that's the golden rule. When we talk about laws and ordinances, it's a shame that Christians want to choose what to believe and what not to believe. And then they close their eyes to certain facts. So you're telling me, Adam, when he was born, or when he was brought, by God from the dust, he didn't have a navel. Obviously, because if you see pictures of Adam, you see navel, a white guy with hair and navel. They won't show the down part, but they'll show his navel. Do you know what a navel is? That's an umbilical cord. How did they know how to cut it? Why does he even have it if he wasn't even born by a mom? Okay, it was put there for aesthetics, fine. So tell me how they realized that they should cut and where to cut the umbilical cord from when Eve gave birth to Cain and Abel. Don't tell me nonsense like, oh, the Holy Spirit came there to save them. No. Because I knew if the narrative was that Cain was born in the Garden of Eden and then they left the Garden of Eden, what I will be hearing is, oh, the angel of God had already taught them how to give birth to babies. So when they left, they already had that knowledge. But that was not the case. They left before they gave birth. So when they left, how did they realize what to do? God has already chased them. He cast them away, even punished them, sent them curses. So there's no way he's going to come down and start helping them. So how did they realize? These are the first group of human beings. And you're telling me that they realize how to undergo certain processes. And remember, these are Homo sapiens. These are not Homo erectus. These are not special. And they are the same people with us. That's what we are believed. That's what everybody believes in terms of religion. They are the same with us. They were not different. They were not different human beings. They didn't have bigger bones. They didn't have their coccyx was not in use. Was not used. It was still the same. It was still vestigial at that time. Adam and Eve were brought on planet Earth with coccyx. Literally a vestigial. Adam had nipples. For what? Why does he have a nipple? They have appendix too. For what? What was he digesting? Adam and Eve had all these things. Why? But they are perfect. They were made from they were literally made from dust. So why do they own all these things? It's not making sense to you, bro. So you're telling me this is the beginning of humankind, right? I won't say, oh, Big Bang Theory is the number one. Because when the James Webb telescope came in place, a lot of people began to see beyond the 36 billion light years. And they were like, oh, what if the Big Bang didn't even happen? Do you understand? There are other speculations, which I'm open to learn. But religion is close-minded. Tomorrow, you still stand on the fact that it was from those Adam and Eve that made all of us today to be alive. It's a stupid thinking. Now we come to um, Adam and Eve. So after everything, you realize that Adam and Eve leaving the Garden of Eden was not even because of sin. It was majorly because God didn't want them to eat from the tree of life. Go and look at it. It was a threat to him more than disobedience. It was not disobedience that sent them out. God could have forgiven them. That was the first thing that ever happened. He could have said, okay, let's start afresh. This is what you have to do. I'm teaching you people to be good people. This is what you have to do. I'll clear their memory and start afresh. He didn't do that. He just sent them out immediately. Why? He was threatened. If they eat from the tree of good and evil, now they realize what is bad. Now they're going to eat from the tree of everlasting life. You realize that part of the Bible is not spoken about by Christians. That's terrible. That's bad marketing. You understand? So now let's leave Adam and Eve. If you go throughout the history of the Bible, humanity as it is today started with incest. Because as far as I'm concerned, everybody died during the flood. And Noah and his family were the only people. So what happens? His daughter slept with him, gave birth, which is biologically not even possible, gave birth enough to have these millions we have today, Chinese, Indians, Arabians, and all of that. You're telling me that that's what you want to believe? So when you are bringing the idea of God, what do you even mean by God? Because I could tell you that Mount Olympus was where Zeus is, and Zeus is the original God. And that the reason why we are seeing all these Jesus and Allah and all of that was because Zeus was taken off by the Satan. Satan just wants Zeus' name to be out. He's the original God on Mount Olympus. They sent him off. He left Mount Olympus. Now he's somewhere. You cannot disprove me on that. You can, because as far as I'm concerned, Zeus has history. There's Greek mythology. They have books written. What they did, Poseidon, Hades, they are brothers with Zeus. We know what Aphrodite is. We know all these people. We know all these gods and what they stand for. Does it mean that they are alive? Does it mean they existed? Oh, you don't believe, but you want me to believe yours. They believe. You can't even disprove that. And I'm telling you today, Lennox, that Zeus is the original god on the planet. In fact, the whole world, Zeus made it. The reason why you're hearing other names now is an adulteration. Zeus is the original one. Can you disprove that? You cannot. The only thing is that majority carries the vote. Christians and Muslims will come together and tell you no. But then Christians and Muslims can't even agree with themselves. Oh, leave Christians and Muslims. Christians now face each other. You can't even agree with yourselves. You want to make excuses like, oh, we are still serving God, Jesus, so it doesn't matter. You know, it does matter, because a Jehovah's Witness does not believe they will see a Catholic in heaven. That's fact. There are some people that don't wear trousers. They don't wear, they have to tie their hair. They have to wear gowns or skirts to church. And there are other people who wear trousers to church. They believe that those people are doing it wrong. So how do you believe somebody does it wrong their whole life and goes to heaven? So what was the reason of you not wearing trousers? If at the end of the day, those wearing trousers will go to heaven. They believe that discrepancy means I'm making heaven more than you. That's fact. Christians don't even believe within themselves. You can make up all type of excuses. It doesn't make any sense. Now, if we have one religion, no Muslim, no Christian, just one, and you're telling me they are atheists, oh, those people will look like rebels. They say, oh, atheists are just rebels. How can they not believe in just this one thing that everybody believes in? But there's no one. So when you mention God, what if Abraham Lincoln, after discovering that the whole world was perfect and it was a God that made it, he said it was Allah? John Lennox, would you believe in Allah? There are Muslims in that congregation. Let them stand up and you ask them. Abraham Lincoln discovered that the world was perfect, and he said God, Jesus Christ, and God, Jesus Christ the Son, and God, his Father, are the reason why this earth is like this. Will you convert to Christianity? Watch them tell you no. A Muslim will not, that's not enough reason for him to turn. Do you understand? That's not enough. So what are we saying here? Grow up. We've passed this level. The world is unfair. We have to accept it. Bad people go away sometimes. Good people suffer sometimes. Good people also get rewarded, and bad people also get rewarded for what they've done. That's the world we live in. That's the same thing with the wild. There's no difference. All we have to do is to come together as humans. We have to put humanity first. What is humanity? You love me, I love you. You do what is right, do what is right. There's no reason why somebody should be a billionaire. It doesn't make sense. There are people who are suffering. If that money was evenly distributed, you can never be a billionaire. Maybe hundreds of millions. You can never be a billionaire. It doesn't make any sense, right? So when we make the world even, there's no more hierarchy, and when there's no more hierarchy, there's no control. So it can never happen. So the world we're living in now is just a hierarchical system where it can be manipulated with religion, can be manipulated with politics, and it can be manipulated with tribe. People of color, oh, you are black, you're white. Stupid things. When you die and you turn to dust, nobody knows whether you're black or white. Nobody sees your skull on the floor and think you are suddenly white. They will have to check your history to even realize that you're all the same. We're all the same. So the idea of, oh, God made you specially, there's nothing special about you. Have to survive. You can't stand under the sun for too long. You will have skin cancer. Do you understand? You can't come to Africa, say, because mosquitoes are going to kill you, and you're telling me Noah took all these things in the ark. Come on. Grow.